Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This is Amna Batavia from Save Our Children Foundation.
This is Myra Khan. I'm also part of the Save Our Children Youth Foundation.
Today on Awareness Hour, we have the founders of SOCF, Natasha Jahangir Khan and Shayan Malik. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so Natasha Jahangir Khan holds an LLM from University College London and is a licensed advocate of the High Courts of Pakistan. She also has 15 years of experience in constitutional, administrative, and regulatory work. She has also recently completed a master's degrees in public administration at Harvard Kennedy School as a mid-career Mission Fellow, and is also one of the recipients of the first Benazir Bhutto Fellowship.
We also have here today Shayan Malik, who is the co-founder of Save Our Children Foundation. She is also an entrepreneur and the CEO of Samanzar Design.
All right, so let's begin our session for today. So my first question to you would be, what inspired you both to start Save Our Children Foundation?
Shayan inspired me.
We actually, Natasha and myself, we met at NDU in the National Security Workshop 17. So we were planning on the APS children's tragedy had just happened about a year or two ago, and we wanted to hold. On the anniversary, we wanted to do something there at the NDU for the children, just to have memorial type of session. And it had all been finalized. And then the ISPR at that time, Asif Bajwa, General Asif Bajwa, suddenly withdrew our permission. So that was a little bit of a downer for us. And then we decided that why can't we as civilians just do our own thing for children? So it was really inspired by the APS tragedy, but it was for children. And then when I came back to Karachi, this was in Islamabad. So when I came back to Karachi, I saw all these children on the streets, and I just wondered that what are they doing out of school, and should they be actually spending their childhood like this? And then Natasha and I discussed it at length. We got together and we drafted a petition. And that petition was signed by more than 300 people, and we sent it to everybody we knew. And then slowly but surely, our foundation came into being.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so my next question to you is, what are some of the projects that you are currently working on?
I think one of the key things, just to get things into context, is I think one of the things that we are really focused on is children who are out on the streets. And everything that we have worked on, or everything that we gravitate towards, is more focused on kids who are out on the street, who have the capacity to contribute to the country, who have the ability to contribute to this country, but are unable to do so. They're not given the means to contribute to the country. They're not given the means to realize their full potential. And Shayan and I were discussing this just last week, in fact, that these children on the street, because of the circumstances they're born and raised in, are so quick to learn, they're so quick to understand, and they offer so much. So everything we end up working on gravitates towards these children or their families, or in somehow enabling them to realize their potential to whatever maximum that we can manage. Shayan, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, we are not a very big organization. We do have support from our members, and now we have our youth group as well. So, but we are focused on child laws, and we are focused on out of school children receiving an education. We are focused that children must be in schools during the hours when they are supposed to be in schools, and they should be in playgrounds when in the hours that they should be playing. They should not be indulged in labor, and this is one of the worst forms of labor, begging. And we feel that children have to regain their childhood, because this is our next generation. And so a lot of our work is to do with trying to bring parliamentarians on board and trying to have laws implemented. And if there are certain laws like labor laws for children which have certain loopholes in them, then we are trying to encourage those to be more solid and ensure that children get the safety net, they have the human rights, their human rights which they deserve.
I think one more thing quickly. I think this is where our motto also comes in, where we started from. The children are meant to learn, not to earn.
Yeah,
This was what we started with. So
that's right. That is our motto.
All right. So since the beginning, what are some of the challenges that you guys faced in the management of your NGO?
So this is, I think, right in the beginning when we started this, Shayan and I had almost a 2-hour phone call because we were in different cities. And the first thing we said was, because initially when you start, people are like, there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of leg pulling, there's a lot of I think one of the most difficult things was that a lot of parliamentarians wanted to sort of piggyback and start passing new laws. So we had to constantly tell people, look, passing laws is not a solution. I mean,
and the laws are there.
Yeah, and everybody just wanted brownie points off our back. So I think the pact we made at the end of that 2-hour conversation was very simple. There'll be a lot of negativity. There'll be a lot of people trying to pick on us. We have to work around the negativity. We cannot feed into it, because the minute you allow yourself to get caught up in that, it's a difficult road. But the minute you get caught up in that, it seeps into the work of the foundation. And I think for us, a big challenge has been avoiding people wanting to. And frankly speaking, I think both of us are very happy to give everybody the credit. Like, anybody who does anything should get the credit, right? But do it positively. And that is something that even now there are days when both of us get frustrated and we call up each other and say, remember, we promised to be positive. I think for me, that has been the biggest challenge.
Yeah. We knew that we would be facing a lot of difficulties, a lot of opposition, a lot of negativity, and we promised ourselves that we will just continue. And I think that has really held our foundation together. And also the fact that we have had so much positive response from members. Our members' membership strength grew, and most of the time we have a lot of positive energies. Even like now we've started our channel, and in this also I think that our youth have come on board, and we always knew that we would have to hand over at some stage to the next generation. And I think that in a short span we've really managed to do that. And so where there are difficulties, of course, there are always difficulties. It was even a huge channel to register our foundation. It was a huge channel to get a bank account for our foundation. But perseverance, and we just kept at it. And sometimes there are things that just sort of fall into our laps, which we had never planned, like our school. We were just given a school, I think, because we were making a lot of noise. So the government said, okay, take a school and start it. So we started. So whatever is thrown at us, we take up the challenge, and we move forward and we go ahead. So we're not like limiting ourselves to anything that, oh, this is we should do this and we can't do this. No, we want to work with everybody. We will work with everybody. We will work with the government, and we've been moving forward, and we've done a lot of positive work so far.
And a special recognition to the work Cheyenne has done with the police on this.
Yes.
The police, which is notoriously difficult to work with, has been standing with Cheyenne in getting a lot of our objectives implemented.
Yes,
So really,
actually,
I think
they have really
yeah,
been amazing, and the Sindh police has really supported us all the way. They came on board, signed an MOU with SOCF, which is really unheard of, and they have supported us and they work with us. We have now a police force which is just for street children. We have 2 vans which try to pick up children whenever they see them on the road. We now have a temporary shelter for these children, which we established again in one of the police women and child police stations, and we have had amazing support from them. So people who told us that you can't do it and you should not do it, we didn't really listen. We just went ahead. I think that is one of our fortes, that we believe in trying and trying again, and eventually you succeed.
That
So
sounds
it
really
seems
great.
like you both have come really far with this foundation.
Definitely.
So that's nice.
How would you say
Well,
that in the past you have overcome these challenges?
by
how
being
did we
positive.
just
Yeah,
positivity. That's
positivity.
it.
Honestly, it's just, I know that sounds simplistic, but honestly, it's just
That's it. Yeah.
something doesn't work out, something else will. The
Yeah.
idea is to keep moving ahead.
That's
Yeah.
a great attitude to have.
Acha, all right. Are there any other NGOs that you guys consider as a benchmark for SOCF?
There are a lot of NGOs actually doing work for children. UNESCO. There are a lot of foreign, I think, like UNESCO, UNICEF, which are doing work for children, and they also support and fund a lot of Pakistani NGOs. But we do not have any funding from any foreign donor, and we are quite happy because we are more of a pressure group, and so there are, I think, Sahil, there's one NGO doing a lot of work, and I'm also on a group which is Kasoor Hamara Hai. I'm also one of the members of that group. It's a small group of, I think, 12 people, and I'm on that group, and that is also another very positive group which are trying to again work on legislation for children.
All right. Do you want to add anything to that, Natasha Jahangir Khan?
Natasha.
No, I think for us, what we have been aspiring for, and as a lawyer, I will talk side. I think what we have been aspiring for is to get the rights of the children recognized. It's an international fundamental right of children across the globe. Pakistan is signatory to the International Convention on the Rights of the Child. So, us, I think that is the queue has been more important than comparing with other NGOs. So, the international platform there is what is important to us more than anything else.
Yeah, and we're also trying to work on registration of children. There are, I think, 60% of children in Pakistan which are not actually registered. So we are trying to ensure that there are laws which NADRA and which the rest of the country recognizes this great flaw that our children are not registered. So when they're not registered, they will not get their rights. This is something also that we are trying to work on. And actually, Natasha being lawyer she is really takes care of a lot of things that I don't know much about. I'll give her a suggestion and say, okay, Natasha, we need to work on this. And then we send those drafts, or we send those suggestions that we have, we send them out. And then we try to lobby for that these are the laws which we need.
Okay.
How can other people get involved with SOCF, especially the youth?
SOCF is open to everybody. We want lots of people to get involved, and we don't have a fees. We don't have anything which would prevent people from joining us, and especially we would like the youth to get involved, and I think that the youth can play a huge role in awareness projects. People in schools, in colleges, and in fact we have had a lot of success with Zabis students. They made 2 movies for us, 2 awareness films that they made for us, the media department, and it was really amazing. So I think that we just need people from all walks of life to come on board. And whenever somebody has a suggestion, we are always open to it. You guys had the suggestion that you would start this awareness session and have a half an hour, and it was one of the most brilliant ideas. So we jumped into it and said, yes, please go for it. We'll support you wherever we can, but initiatives are yours, and we are just going to stand behind you in whatever you want to do for SOCF.
Thank you so much for saying that.
What do you think the younger generation should be doing in terms of social work and child protection?
I think first of all, we need to make the younger generation, especially the educated generation or the private school going generation of Pakistan, understand their privilege and know that there's nothing special about you because you were born into certain circumstances, and there's nothing not special about kids who were born into poor circumstances. But the point is that if you want to move ahead in life, you have to hold up everybody around you. I think the younger generation is far more creative than any of us, has far more energy than any of us, has far more passion than any of us. It's just when you're younger, there's all that emotion is there. Channel that emotion, use it wisely, help the people around you, help pick the people up around you, and you will rise a lot higher and faster if you do so. And it'll take an entire generation to work on this problem of street children in Pakistan. We, Cheyenne, me, all the people with us, we will do this work. Now we'll do it for 10 years, 20 years. Somebody has to carry this on, and somebody has to spread the word. And I think nobody is better positioned than the younger generation or the upcoming generations of Pakistan to do that. So.
All right, Cheyenne, Malik, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I fully agree with Natasha. This is actually what the younger generation, they have to realize that if you are born, it's just an accident of birth. If you are going to a school, if you're going to college, if you go to university, if you go abroad to study, it's an accident of birth. You could have been there where that child is, the little kid is, who is cleaning the windows of a car. So you need to recognize that. You need to recognize the fact that why should a child be on a roadside cleaning a car? That is something which is unfair. And when you recognize that these things are unfair, I think automatically we will move forward. And I think that a lot of youth need to speak up, speak out, and create awareness that what is good for one child has to be good for another child. And when there are criminal activities which children have to endure, they shouldn't have to endure that. There has to be quick justice and punishment. If a little 8-year-old girl is killed in Islamabad for releasing some parrots, then I expect the youth to come out on the streets and say, we protest. This is wrong. We do not want this to happen in our country. So this is what I expect from the youth of Pakistan.
All right, thank you. Just one last thing. What are your long-term goals for Save Our Children Foundation?
I don't think we've thought very far. I think we take it as it comes, and it's just.
We take it,
I
yeah.
mean, we
We take
started
it a
off
day
very
at a time.
small, and it just, yeah, and it keeps spreading and spreading and spreading.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you all. I think you guys have been key. Frankly, I think you guys showed us the way that we have to uh, sort of start spreading the mantle, start spreading the responsibility, take it to a better level. And I think our future goal is to hold you all accountable to this.
Yep, our country will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And I just add to that because this is something which I'm working on right now. And we are working on child shelters. We think this is a great need of having child shelters. There are so many children who run away from their homes and have no place to go. They're abused children who don't know where to go, who to reach out to. We have to have child shelters. And this is something we have so many restaurants. Why don't we have child shelters? I want to hold the rest of Pakistan accountable to this. That if you are there wanting to open stores and malls and restaurants and movie houses, why don't you think about children and shelters for them? So this is something I feel very passionately about, and I'm working towards at least getting our child shelter in Karachi, which has been under construction since 2011 and is still only half built. So I really think that the Sindh government should come on board with private entrepreneurs, with private citizens and companies, and they the government is not responsible for everything. The government has to partner with the citizens and let people take it over and let people help them out. They can oversee everything, but the government really has to have a lot of private public partnerships. We can only move forward like that.
All right. Thank you, Myra. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, my last question to you is, what do you envision for the future of SOCF?
I think one of the hardest things, I'll put a context to this. One of the most difficult mind shifts for me personally when we started doing this work was not giving money to beggars. It is very natural for us that when a child walks up to you and he looks really miserable and malnourished and you know he's being abused, you take out 10 rupees and you give it to that child. It was very difficult for me to stop doing that. It's still difficult for me to stop doing that. That 5 or 10 rupees, and I tell myself every time that 5 or 10 rupees can be used to save this child's life instead of ruining this child's life. So for me, I think the long-term goal of SOCF is to create awareness around that you have to save these children, and you're not saving them by giving them alms, you're not saving them by leaving them on the roads, you're not saving them by thinking and we have a culture of giving sadka. So people think that you just give a child 10 rupees on the road and you've given sadka. I think for me personally, the day we can manage to affect that mindset, that if you want to save your future, because these children are your future, you have to be differently than you have been doing so far. There is a mindset shift that I would like us to bring about. Shayan, you would.
Absolutely, I agree. Natasha has said it all, and I totally agree with what she says.
All right. Thank you so much, Shayan and Natasha, for being here. Do you want to add something else for our audience?
No, actually, thank you so much for hosting us. And we will be looking forward to this program, which you are going to be conducting every week. And we will be looking forward to many, many more guests who will add to the project, and to they come in with their own ideas of what we should do. And I'm really going to be looking forward to learning from you and learning from your guests as well.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much
much.
for being here. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone,
Amna.
for
Thank you,
joining
Mara.
us.
We hope to
Thank
see you
you.
next week on the 8th of August with 2 more guests. at the same time.
All right. Take
Take
care
care.
of
Thank you.
yourself. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Eid Mubarak to
care.
everybody.
Eid
Eid
Mubarak.
Mubarak.
Yeah.
Well,
Mubarak.
Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.